There they are in the chat complaining that it hasn't started, but indeed it has. Welcome into the Warchant Happy Hour on a Libations Friday. It is good to be with you and all of you guys here at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. If you're in town and making your way around, roll on up to the CP where the drinks are cold, the TVs are bountiful, and there are like-minded Noles and others all about us for the weekend game against Louisiana, which I know you are pumped about.
I am. If they win this game, you can say they're the state champs, Louisiana. They would have beaten. I mean, I guess they didn't play Tulane, so they'd have to put. Maybe they played Tulane in a bowl game.
They could.
Yeah,
Tulane's not bad.
Last night.
A little bit of a hiccup the week before from them, but against UCF. But yes, so it is that we are excited, not necessarily because of the level of the matchup tomorrow, Corey, but because what the season has turned out to represent. Yeah. Which is a huge leap forward, and we've really kind of chronicled it across all of our platforms on warchant.com, whether it be Wake Up Warchant, Jeff Cameron Show, Seminole headlines, all of the articles, all of those things. We came into the season with the hope, obviously, along with everybody else that is a Nole or at least wants to see something decent out there on Saturdays. Sure. We got our wish because they're good, and I think we both agree with that. They are good. How good? How good can they be? That'll probably be answered more next year. But this year they answered the question, could they be good? The answer is yes.
Yeah, and then next week is a big answer too, just
huge.
for this season. But, man, they have a chance, if things go like they should tomorrow, to have 4 straight blowout wins, which – I mean, that has not happened around these parts in many a moon.
Many a moon, as they say. And I know this, though.
They do still say that, right? Many a moon.
I do.
Most people
But I'm also old, and you're getting old. There it is. Hey, by the way, there's been 5 blowouts this year. Florida State has blown out 5 teams this year.
Well, 6 if you count. 5, Duquesne, Boston College, and the last 3. You're right.
Yeah, 5 blowouts. So
and LSU would have been a blowout if they didn't
get a little weird
around inside the 5.
But think about it, 5 blowouts for Florida State this year, and their 3 losses are all very close. Tom and I were talking about this the other day. So you have 3 losses against ranked teams, 2 of which you were underdogs to. You're in every one of those games. You blow out 5 teams this year. You come back and win a game on the road that you trail and lose your starting quarterback. There's so many signs of growth that it's undeniable, even for the most pessimistic Florida State fan who's like, oh, I don't know, maybe the last 3 weeks those teams were down. You could make that argument, fine. But look at all the totality of the season tells you they're a lot better. Yeah, man, and it's fun. We missed this, right? The fan base missed it. They were starving for it. You go into a game, even at Syracuse, and you're like, man, okay, what are they going to win by? Who's going to play well and what are they going to win by? Not if they're going to win. How much are they going to win by? That has not happened around here in a while, man, and that's a bowl team. Were you like I was going into the Syracuse game? I know you watched it at home in Atlanta. I watched it at my house. We finished the pregame show. My wife asked me, well, what do you think? And I think she expects me to always be nervous because I have been for like 4 years because they're not any good. And I was like, I think we'll probably win by at least 21 points. She was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, they will. They're going to. Like, you begin to have faith. You begin to believe beyond what your hope is and more about what the evidence tells you, which is that they're probably going to boat race this team.
I'm more of a pessimist, as you can imagine, being an Atlanta sports fan, so I wasn't convinced they were going to win by that sort of margin, but I certainly was convinced they were going to win. They're the better team, and they have the best quarterback in pretty much every game they play now, and they have the better defense in every game they play. The offensive line, that's the beauty, man. You go into a game now knowing you're going to run for 200 yards. Syracuse has given up. They're 15th in the country in total defense. They even gave. I think they one game this year they've given up over 200 yards.
Yeah, rushing. Notre Dame.
You knew going into that game you were going to run on because that's what Florida State does. And it travels. It's crazy to go into a game. No matter what the defense is, they're going to run for 200, 250 yards.
I haven't looked at the chat yet. I will here in a second. But I want to say this because there's a lot of, and I'm sure it's all over our message boards, and it's just fascinating to me. The direct benefactor of all of this rushing the football and the offensive line is going to be Mike Norvell and his staff in the next week or so. I believe, based on what I'm hearing, that you're going to see some pretty big names and some pretty exciting news in the recruiting world. Whether
Look
it be
you breaking news, right?
No.
What are you talking about?
Well, whether it's there you go, buddy. I'm here for you. Whether it's transfer portal guys that are going to be whispered about, or high school recruits, or kids that maybe had decided to go elsewhere and had made a verbal commitment to another school and now are rethinking their decision and maybe coming back to Florida State, whom they initially had wanted to sign with.
Right.
So there's a lot of that out there. It's not just noise in the system.
A decommitment And then a
little Reedy action, which we haven't had in a long time.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while. You hope you don't have a Reedy Reedy. You don't want to have that
commitment.
Yeah, no Reedy. You don't want.
Sure.
Yeah. So you have a Reedy's fine, but yeah. So the point is, I do think it's going to pay off. We asked that question: what do these wins mean? What is it going to get Mike Norvell and his staff? What can they expect in the world of recruiting? Because what happens is, you take the on-field product that you and I are talking about excitedly and how much better they are. And, obviously the fan base and everybody who supports Florida State is energized. And you want to know, okay, well, what's that going to do for them besides go to a bowl and right. all of that, right? Because they've established that now. We've confirmed they're better. What does it do? What does it help? Well, I mean, it's going to help you take the next step, which is to be a great football team that can win the ACC and compete to go to the college football playoff, which you would like to see happen next year.
That can be next year.
It can be next year.
Especially depending on who comes back and who you get out of the portal. It probably should be next year that you're at least competing. I mean, remember, they get rid of divisions next year.
Right.
So it's not like you're going to, if you lose to Clemson, you're done. But, man, they have a chance because of the rise in personnel and how much better it is this year and how much better it's going to be. Yeah, you would expect 9 or 10 wins next year if the right people come back. And that's good enough to get you in the mix.
Well, yeah, and I think it's cool that you go from wondering whether or not they can be good to how good to can they be great. Like that, we're making this is we go from
it's about to kick off, by the way, the Noles and LSU.
There we go. We got a little soccer action.
Yeah,
we will keep you updated. Can't do play-by-play while we're up here. That's against the rules.
That's against the rules, right?
Against the rules.
Tom will shout goal.
And I can see it off to the side there. It's also ricocheting off the dome, so I can.
You can see it off the back of my
head.
Nice.
I can see it. It's nice. But, and I say that lovingly as a fellow bald man, you know that.
Right, I do.
But what I would say is we took the step from, okay, please don't suck. Okay, they don't suck.
Yeah.
To, all right, are they pretty good? Yeah, they're pretty good. To, oh, no, they're good.
Yeah.
And then, the logical step from there is when will they and can they be great? Well, you get business to take care of. Got a game Saturday, got a big game against your rival the following week, which everybody's excited about. For the first time in a long time, that rivalry will have some juice to it.
Right.
Where both teams are playing for something, trying to prove that they're the one that's ascended to a higher level and win those guys that are bordering on their decision and recruiting, all that stuff. And then the next year's question, this year at the start of the season, I said, all right, this is a make or break year for Mike. We all talked about this, and I was like, I'm really, I'm worried because I don't want to start over.
Yeah.
But if my man goes 6-6, he's a dead man walking. They weren't going to fire him.
They weren't be fired.
But you know what I mean? Yep. Like he would have been dead in the water. He couldn't have been able to recruit at that point. Now he can really recruit because they won their first 4 games. So you had that, right?
That
the
excitement.
Energy.
The LSU game was excitement, right? Yeah.
And then, you lost 3, but you come back and boat raced everybody, and you're leading the country in categories. I mean, it's crazy to watch this team, right? Talk about yards per carry and efficiency numbers and all this. And now they're improving in the red zone. So the next question that leads next season and really kind of concludes this one is, all right, we've gone from bad to pretty good to good. When do we get to great? How soon can they get to great? That's a fun transition.
And is this the ceiling with Norvell? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. No.
It's progressing at such a rate here within a season, within a month, that you're like, okay, you can just it could be exponentially even better than this next year, the year after that. Once he can recruit from a bigger pool, a bigger pond. Once you can fish from those bigger ponds and get better players, which he's now there. He's got a boat on one of those lakes now, Jeff. He's got a boat on one of those lakes where he can go fish. He can go. He's got some pots out in the water.
Tom, you're going to have to read me that question. I can't even hardly see that.
Oh, man, you're getting old.
Oh, I do see that. Yeah, I do see that. I thought there was a more exciting question out there.
Good job, Tom.
Yeah, the flu. I have not heard anything about specifics as to who's going to miss the game tomorrow and who is going to play. And frankly, we're not allowed to tell you.
Yeah.
So even if I had, I couldn't tell you. But I haven't.
I haven't either.
And I don't think you have either.
I would think the good news, though, if you're going to have a bug rip through your program, do it the week before Florida. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be next week.
Yeah, no. Be it this week.
But still, you want to win this game. It's a very important game, and you hope you have all your guys available. But if there was going to be a week where some important guys miss practice, or maybe even 1 or 2 miss the game, you'd rather be Louisiana, not Florida.
Yeah, and
maybe Florida has their bug next week.
Outside of the flu, by the way, I would tell you that, I mean, obviously this is the healthiest they've been.
Yes.
Like if you just ignore, some guys are down with the cold or a flu, that stinks, but that's different than torn ACLs. I mean, this is the healthiest this group has been all year long.
Yeah.
And it's really been part and parcel of the way they've destroyed everybody these last few weeks. But yeah, you're right. Next week is a big one. We've got a contribution from Rob, and we appreciate you, Rob, very, very much. Don't see a question there, but he asked what? There it is. Second year. No, I don't see it. I don't see the question.
Can you listen to the FSU broadcast online?
Football? I assume so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
yeah.
There you go. Good answer, Jeff.
All right. So
thank you, Rob. Thank you. Well, I mean, hey, we'll take the.
I didn't see Rob's question. No, it was below. It was above. Okay. Yeah. It's hard to get old. I don't have my glasses on. You don't have yours on.
No.
I could have said, go ahead and read that, Corey. You would have been struggling.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Nope.
So there you go. But I don't know that. I expected that to be the question. Seminoles.com. You can. Yeah.
Probably. You go there, you find all your broadcast needs.
I never know what the rules are anymore, by the way. And we're not here to pimp Seminoles.com. If it's not on Warchant, I don't really care.
Who would care?
I mean, yeah.
Do the watch along. That's your radio show. Just do the watch along. They'll tell you what's happening.
That's how you do it. You redirect, Corey Clark. That's what you do. You redirect.
So is there anything you need to see tomorrow?
No.
Other than just get out of there healthy?
Yeah, really. I mean, honestly,
would you be disappointed if they're still in a game late third, middle third quarter?
No, it's not ideal. I'd prefer to continue to win going away.
Teams,
yeah, I mean, that's a lot of fun to distance yourself early and make it a rocking chair game, as I like to say. But I'll only say this. Where Louisiana has struggled this year is on offense.
Yeah. Their defense is pretty good.
It's pretty good defense. Yeah. It's a pretty good defense.
But then so did Syracuse and so did Miami.
Yeah,
and
but
I hammered them too.
Right, and I don't want to take any credit away from Florida State. I do think that we caught Syracuse at a good time, and I think Miami kind of quit.
Yeah.
But again, it's a combination of things. Florida State is running on everybody, so you're right to point that out. But Louisiana has a very good linebacker, probably get drafted. They had a corner that's very good as well. They lost 4 really key pieces that went with Napier when he went to Florida. They had a 3-year starting quarterback that graduated last year, so they've struggled at quarterback this year. They've had 2 different guys that they've tried to play. Their running back, Chris Smith, is a decent player, but
Look at you. Why do you know all this stuff?
Because last night when I was watching a football game, I just decided to dive into Louisiana.
Nice, man.
Time.
All right. I didn't know if you read Austin Cox's matchup analysis on Warchant.com or what.
I actually wanted to know why they were 5-5 and why they had struggled in the Sun Belt. I was kind of like, what's going on here? That's a proper.
That was better. I did it better that time. Yeah.
So I was. So last night I was sitting on my laptop watching football, and I just started going into the numbers and looking at them, and then watching some highlights. They got a kid, Mike Jefferson, at wide receiver, buddy, let me tell you something. He's impressive.
All right.
He's actually impressive. He's a guy that people will know.
What year is he?
This is it. He's going pro.
Oh, I was going to say,
he's a good player.
A portal kid, maybe.
So, yeah, I love it. He's scouting for us.
Every time they play somebody of a lesser tier, I want somebody to impress them so they can be in the portal.
Jefferson's good. And he's 6'3". He can run. He's got good hands.
He's the guy Norvell was talking about that'll be in the league. And they also lead the nation in punt return average. But here's the key to that is don't punt.
Well, they have a kickoff guy and a punt guy that are both very, very good.
You're going to be kicking off a lot, you hope.
So the thing is, the point of me bringing any of this up is they have a pretty good defense. If you're sloppy like you were against Georgia Tech in the first half, you could be in a game in the third quarter, to answer your question. You could find yourself kind of, hey, why is it 17-10,
I feel like they're on par with Boston College, Georgia Tech.
Sure.
Like, if they were playing Georgia Tech
they could win that game.
They'd probably be underdog by 2 points or something.
Yeah, and they could win.
Yes,
you wouldn't be shocked, right?
I mean, technically they could win this game. It would you'd have to play horrible.
You'd have to play poorly. You'd have to turn the ball over.
But
you'd have to give them.
They're not
life.
Just because they're not in the ACC. People are going to think, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. Well, it'll be a cakewalk like you maybe thought Boston College or Georgia Tech was. Like, I think they're similarly talented type teams.
Yeah, neither are talented. Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So what I would
the spreads are about the same, right? They're 21-24, just like they were for those games.
One thing to note, they are at 5 wins. They're trying to get to a bowl, so they're going to play hard. I mean, they're going to play. It may not make a difference, but they are going to play as hard as they can because they do have a chance. They have to win one of their last 2 to get to a bowl. And they were a pretty proud program. I mean, it did hurt them. It devastated them that Napier left, but, it was one of his assistants that they elevated.
Yeah.
So, you got a guy who's familiar with what their protocol. They just lost too many guys personnel-wise, not just the special players that went over there and left Louisiana to go to Florida. They had another kid leave for Texas and another. So they had some real talent that left the program. I will say, and thank goodness it's not going to happen, had we been playing the Louisiana team of last year and the year before, I would be slightly nervous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It would have been like, well, you're going to have to play.
Yeah. It just seems like right now when you go into a game with the way this offense is playing, whether it's at Miami on a Saturday night, at Syracuse on a Saturday night, a sleepy nooner at home, you just assume this offense is going to roll over the opponent in front of it.
It's fun to assume, isn't it? It's fun to assume that right now.
It's not a place we've been at. Just literally, Jeff, when was the last time you had a ton of confidence in a Florida State offense to just, no matter who they're playing, they're going to run on them? And they're also going to score 35, 40 points. Like maybe 16 with Dalvin and when Francois was rolling, but
not every week. Like I almost assume it now every week. But you're right. That team.
So that went up, but before that it was 13. And I've heard from multiple people tell me how much more. This is the most fun they've had watching Florida State since 13.
Well, one of the reasons is, and we probably hammered this talking point, but we are fortunate enough to kind of get to see a team grow, especially from spring football into fall camp.
Especially from nothing, out of the ashes.
But we get to talk to the coaches at that luncheon to start the year, and you can ask all kinds of questions. We all ask questions to these guys about, well, what do you think of this kid? Or what's this guy's ceiling? Or what does this kid have to do to get better? And one of the things, we talked about it a lot again, one of the cool things about covering this program now is that Norvell empowers his coaches. They're free to talk to you. They'll even tell you some things that maybe, hey, this is off the record, but they'll talk to you. They lend context to the stories that you write and our talking points on the shows and so forth. So when you hear a coach talk about a kid and then you watch that kid emerge and get better.
Yeah.
I sat down at the start of the season just like you did and talked to coaches. And I remember thinking, well, I want to learn some things about Jordan Travis. And we all got that opportunity, and I thought that was so cool. You got a new quarterback coach, basically. You want to see how he's going to fit in. Right. You have that conversation. And he's like, man, I think he's poised to take a huge step forward. He's like, I really believe you're going to be more impressed with him as a thrower than you've ever been. I'm sure he was aware that I was critical of him as a thrower. I don't mean Jordan, but to see it happen, you're proud of the kids. You're proud of somebody who puts in the work, and then you see the results.
Yeah.
They're a likable bunch is what I'm getting at, because there are a lot of stories like that this year.
And they do play really hard. They just play really hard. You know they're going to go into a game and play hard. They might not always execute or play well, but you know that offensive line is going to play as hard as it can. That defense is going to play as hard as it can. It's not littered with a ton of NFL guys.
Is that 1-0 LSU? Golly.
Man, that was quick.
What are we out here doing?
Noles.
Come on.
Already down 1-0. Hey, you're going to have to score anyway.
I saw it. I said, that number doesn't look like a zero.
That can't be right. That's not good.
Yeah.
10 minutes in. Boy.
All right. Get it out of the way early.
I know.
Just a little nervous start now. There.
Well, that's no good.
Anyhow.
But anywho.
Yeah.
So they're really likable. And then as you project into what the rest of this season will be, everything is going to come back to who's coming back. And it's odd because this team it's not good enough to lose 7 early guys in the NFL draft like they're Georgia last year.
Yeah, but let's talk about
who is going to come back and who won't. And
well, I think we know. I would argue we know.
All right.
You ready? Fabian, gone.
Okay.
Verse, gone.
Okay.
Jamie Robinson, gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so those 3 are gone.
Everybody else back?
So Jordan back. Benson back.
Okay.
Wilson back. Anybody else you want to ask about that you think has a legitimate chance to go?
No, I think those are the 6, right? I think.
Yeah. So there it is. You got 3 that are gone, 3 that are coming back.
Bethune's played a lot of college football, but I think he's still eligible to come back, and I think he will.
But I'm saying, listen, I like Tatum Bethune a lot.
Yeah, he's not a. It's not
the end of the world. Yeah. So I think he loves college football. He's interesting that way. He's talked about it. I think he comes back. He just loves it.
If you get the offense to come back, you're going to lose the 2 guards. But if you get everybody else on that offense,
I think you've got more guards than you can shake a stick at
probably
on this roster.
Yeah, the Estes kid, and then you also have the portal.
Yeah.
You are going to go into next season. I don't know, man. Top 15 in the country, and you're going to think you have one of the 5 best offenses in the United States. They are an elite offense right now. The way they're running now.
Yeah.
They are elite. I think PFF has them as like the 6th best offense. They're top 15 in running and passing efficiency. without incredibly talent, like not without they don't have a ton of NFL talent on that offensive line, and they're still doing this. Imagine Trey Benson with another year, Johnny Wilson with another year, Micah Pittman back, Malik McClain getting better, the new kid coming in, Hakeem Williams. I mean, they're a lot of talent, dude.
Did you mention Winston Wright coming back?
No. Well, I got a cough.
There you go. That Mio ain't treating you right.
He's better on that button.
You are. Yeah. You just got to put this back up.
Oh, I thought you told me to wipe myself.
Like a bib on a child.
Yeah, well, you did this. I don't know. I didn't know if this was a radio signal that I hadn't seen.
Hey.
Got a chance here. Oh, they let it get away.
Yeah. So what I would say to you, we got a donation. Very nice. Oh, Joel Davis, too much, man. And Tom, man, you guys.
Joel D's in the house?
Joel D's in the house. Hope to see you guys at the game tonight. And then Tom writes, Corey, you have a face made for TV. Oh, how nice is that?
That's nice. I thought it was going to be something rude.
No, he's being very complimentary.
I'm thinking about shaving it off.
I don't think so, no.
You don't want me to do that?
No, I think you look good with a goatee.
I'd like to, now that my face is thinned out, I want to see the jawline.
I don't even.
Sorry. It would be cool. I've never had a jawline.
I think you have.
No, when I was 7,
maybe something like that.
When I was 7, got a corner kick coming up
One
here.
thing I'll say is that your face, while thinner, a lot thinner, is still shaped in such a way that the goatee is where it's at.
Okay.
Is that a fair thing to say?
I don't know. We have to see it without.
I think
I'm going to wait till after the season. I don't want to jinx anything right now.
Do it when you don't have to see anybody.
Well, I would do that for the Christmas break where nobody's looking at me.
Yeah. That way, when you do it and you're like, this is regrettable.
Yeah, I'll
stay in the house for a week and grow it back in no time.
In 4 days.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you do. That's the experiment that you can
do. By the way, are we going to talk? There's a basketball game tonight.
You saw that I'm really trying to avoid this discussion.
Yeah.
You know, one of the reasons that Florida State lost last year to Florida in the game between these two.
The football game?
No, the basketball game.
Oh, okay.
Was because Florida killed Florida State on the glass. You remember the rebounding disparity in that game?
I assume it was a big one.
It was big.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen tonight?
The Noles are going to play with a lot of passion. They're going to play with a lot of aggression.
They don't out-rebound Troy. They can't out-rebound. I mean, this is ridiculous.
They don't have big guys.
You wrote a piece on Warchant.com that others should go and read. I read it this morning regarding the what a shame this is and that this shouldn't be happening to Leonard Hamilton.
Yeah. It's just a bummer, right?
I share that sentiment with you.
You can obviously, there's some blame to go around. We won't talk about basketball for very long, I promise. We'll get back into that Taylor Swift. But there is some blame to go around, maybe some misses in recruiting. But, man, Baba Miller is going to be an NBA player. The kid that they got to transfer in from Brown was going to be a difference maker.
He was on the defensive end especially.
McLeod is out. So you have no post presence at all.
None.
And you have nobody. But the problem that with
your
this
point
team,
guard, your freshman point guard, which
can't play. Is injured and can't play.
Yeah, he's injured, and he's a kid, by the way, who I'm told brings a little what for in addition to skill. You need that toughness.
Yes.
They don't have a ton of that in the backcourt.
Nobody rebounds.
Well,
nobody even tries to rebound.
And
the green kid can shoot.
He can shoot, but he can't guard you.
And he doesn't rebound.
So
Jalen Worley doesn't rebound like I like. Matthew Cleveland just has no interest in it.
Well, but the other thing is he's lost all of his confidence.
Yes, correct.
So you've got even your best players returning are now flawed terribly. Caleb is what he is. I'm not a fan. And obviously you're talking about Matthew Cleveland. I mean, my God, he's fallen off a cliff. I went to the exhibition game, the 0-for-9 exhibition game.
He was 0-for-9, yeah.
But it was an exhibition game, right? But as I watched it, it was so mechanical. And I remember thinking, he's in his head.
Yeah.
Like, it was weird to watch. He wasn't playing the game.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Corey, you and I have been around this program for years.
It's just a bummer. He had an all-time great team, then he had an all-time great player, and we never got to really enjoy either of them at the end of the season. And that's just
the other problem. The other problem is, and this is fair. I mean, this is the reality. This will be back-to-back bad seasons, and
injuries are not just bad, but really bad.
Really bad. And what I would argue is Florida State, unlike other programs, cannot afford to take long stretches of time away from being at the forefront.
In that sport, especially, yeah.
And so, and he's not going to gain traction in the NIL game.
No, he's got to be international because they can't have NIL deals for international kids. So that's where he's got to live. And that's Baba Miller was going to be that guy. And then he gets to miss half the season.
So at the end of the day, what we're describing is sort of a sad, slow demise. This man is a wonderful man of character. He's one, more importantly, I would say, just a passionate basketball fan who doesn't care about off-the-court stuff. And I get you. I hear you. Because, I mean, you tell me how good a guy is. If he loses 20 games every year, I'm like, well, great.
Go be a good guy. Go be a volunteer.
Yeah, so I get it. But he has been on both. He's been an awesome representative and ambassador.
Yeah.
He's been an incredible human being that's changed lives.
That's
and he's also won a ton of games.
And he had an all-time great team to kind of culminate his career.
He would have won that. They would have gone to the Final Four.
Probably. We can't say for sure, but they would have been in a 1-versus-2 matchup.
They would have had a chance to go to the Final Four.
A good one.
A very good chance.
They had everything you needed.
Well, and they had all the toughness, mentally and physically.
Yeah, and they had a dude that would make shots at the end of the game, and they had 2 lottery picks.
But one thing I'll say is, I mean, we'll never know, right? We know that. But when that happened, I remember, he handled that with such dignity, man. Yeah. I would not have been able to handle that.
Oh, I would have been kicking things.
I would have been.
You kidding me?
I would
monkey,
think. I mean,
monkey or whatever that Wuhan. The lab and
Woo.
Was it a bat? I don't think it was a bat. It was another weird
animal. It's like a big bat.
But whatever happened there, that was butterfly effect. Something happens in China, literally able to win a national championship.
It's an amazing thing.
All right, so I'm going to do a exercise with you. Let's say you have $2 million. We just listed those guys that might come back and might stay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 6 total.
Yeah.
Jamie Robinson, Fabian Lovett, Jared Verse, Jordan Travis, Johnny Wilson, Trey Benson.
Jamie's gone regardless.
Well, he's still a junior.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he accepted a Senior Bowl invite, and so did Fabian. But you can accept those things and rip them up if you get paid enough money. So you have $2 million. How do you disperse it to get those guys back?
Well, you're not
many
getting.
As you can.
Okay, I'm paying Jordan Travis to start. Okay, so let's just begin with that.
Do you just say it's $1 million off the top going to my quarterback? That's the most important position, man, and he's very important. And
I'm not.
Who's it going to be?
I'm not paying Jordan Travis $1 million.
I mean,
first of all, I don't think they are either. I will tell you that you are going to see.
I would pay him $1 million.
Well, you're paying him $1 million of other people's money. You're not paying him. Yeah,
that's true. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's the whole goal.
You're going to use $1 million of your $2 million.
I'm a capologist.
Okay, so here's what I am going to do. I'm going to give Jordan Travis between the neighborhood.
What percentage?
Well, just hold on. I'm going to give you the dollars for all these guys.
Okay.
I'm going to give him somewhere in the neighborhood between $400,000 and $500,000, and he's going to get an ancillary benefit as well. Some car dealership, maybe Kraft Nissan. I'll give him a vehicle.
Maybe he can come at Corner Pocket and do one of these every Friday night.
A lot of pluses, a lot of nice things to go along with a hearty sum of money. Right?
Okay.
That's him over here. Now, I mean, obviously, at this point, I think it's you. I don't think you can give Jared Verse enough money because he's going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, no, he's probably off the table.
Off the table. So you remove your budget from that, okay? I don't think you can give Fabian enough money, frankly, because of his age, his situation. I think he's out the door. He's projected second, third round. You're saying you could convince him?
No, I don't think
as a defensive tackle who just survived an injury.
He's second or third round. If he's definitely a third round pick, of course you can't bring him back.
Okay, so my point is, let's say he's a third round pick.
So don't even waste your chance.
Don't waste your money. Okay, so let's put him over there. All right. Go Noles!
Let's go,
there
Noles.
we go, baby.
That's how you answer.
Florida State ties it up.
That's the response he's been talking about.
There it is.
Sorry,
we
LSU.
Are all tied.
Goalie's barking at her teammate too. Don't be mad.
This went quickly from 0-0 to 1-1 inside of less than 25 minutes. Everybody, and there
That's
it is.
A shot. Wow,
there it is.
One timer.
All right, and we are tied at 1.
I don't know. They're not. That's a great pass. Good grief.
Yeah. Look like
left-footed finisher.
What a beautiful setup there. Yeah. All right, so we're tied at 1. That's good. So now Fabian and Verse, they're over
done.
here. I've already paid Jordan. Now, what do you want me to do? I've got $1.5 million left according to Corey's budget.
Yeah. So
by the way, we have a little bit more than that, but okay.
Johnny Wilson, Trey Benson.
What am I paying Johnny Wilson for? He ain't going anywhere.
I mean, all right.
Here's $50. I mean, Johnny ain't going anywhere.
I mean, I think it's going to take more. I think his NIL deal that he just signed with Rising Spears for more than $50.
Probably, but where do you think he's going?
No, I mean, he probably won't. But he's
not.
What you really wonder about is Trey Benson, because
he's not transferring again, and he's not transferring. He's been too good too late. He's not. If you go look, it's a bad year to come out as running back.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I know the Texas kids coming out.
Oh, there's a ton of kids. You don't want to come out. The Alabama kid, there's a bunch of kids. You don't want to come out as a running back right now, especially one who hasn't firmly established that he's all the way back with a degree of consistency from an injury. So we know he's good. Believe me, the scouts know he's good, but he's been really good for 3 games.
Right.
He's not – this is not him. We got lucky. Had he been doing this from day one, we might have a problem on our hands.
Yes, yeah.
But he didn't.
Well, because the momentum would have started about, okay, Trey, is this guy going to be a second-round pick?
Oh, if he's going 180, 160 a game, he might be on the way out the door, but he didn't. He didn't do that at all.
Well, he's got a pretty decent shot to finish with 1,000 yards.
Right, but because he had a bunch of middling games in there and then 3 really great games.
The question it's out there because of the position he plays. And the window is so short, the shelf life is so short for running backs.
It's a fair counter.
If you can go get paid so you can get to that second contract.
There's a running
quicker.
back at UAB that is beloved. There's a running back at Bijan Robinson of Texas. There's the running back at Alabama. The kid at Illinois is a superstar. There are like 7. The Big Ten alone has a ton.
No, I think even if you're like, oh, I'm going to be a 5th-round pick.
Oh, you're still
go? Some running backs would just to start. Devontae Freeman did just to go get paid, just to go start it. Now, I don't think Trey Benson should. Because I think Trey Benson would come into next year and be an All-American candidate.
I agree with you.
And an All-SEC candidate. And just the name recognition alone will help him. But he's going to want some money.
Yeah.
So what are we doing, capologists? What are we doing?
He's going to get a good chunk of money in that scenario.
All right, if you're giving Jordan Travis $500, what's he getting, $250?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, we got a lot to play over. We got a little bit of money. We can go on a resort vacation.
We can go to Pebble Beach.
Johnny Wilson's getting $50.
Yeah. Well, no.
We're not paying Burst and Lovett at all.
Well, we don't have to because they're gone. All right, so maybe Johnny gets 50,000.
Jamie Robinson,
have a good one.
Man, I would
take it to the pros.
I would offer him $250 too. I'd offer him Trey Benson money. That guy is really good.
But
he's not coming back. I know he's not coming back.
Right. I'm a realist, Corey. You just want guys to come back.
Well, hey, man, that's fun.
I'm telling you that he's gone, and he should go. He can't prove anything else.
Yeah.
What is there for him to do? He should go get paid.
Honestly, it's probably those 3 defensive guys are probably all gone. I think you're really concerned or worried. You have to lock up if you're Mike Norvell. Or not Mike Norvell. He has no idea what's going on.
Sure, it's an independent collective,
yes,
Corey.
he doesn't even know that they have this
thing. He has no influence whatsoever.
I think Jordan Travis and Trey Benson are the 2. Make sure they come back. I think Jordan Travis is going to get more than you think he's going to get. But I think that's a huge deal to have a quarterback that's that proven.
I just said I'd give him $500,000 for a car and a condo.
Oh, I didn't hear the car and the condo.
I brought the car up. I left the condo.
You brought a dealership deal.
I had a condo in my back pocket over here.
So I got a
little condo deal. Okay. So now you're in a downtown condo.
Now is he renting or does he buy? He has the condo.
It's his.
Oh,
well, not long term.
Oh, it's his.
While he lives here, while he's playing for the team, he gets the condo. It's not a property investment that he gets.
Okay, all right.
No, so now listen. I've given you $500,000, a condo downtown,
right,
and a car.
Yes.
And what are we doing? I mean,
and then go get some portal kids.
Correct.
That's what you tell Jordan Travis is like, look, man, we can give you this money, but you got to be our Tom Brady right now.
You got to recruit people. You got
to take a little less to make sure you get a guard that you want or a badass defensive end.
All right, let's
find. You need a defensive end. Another corner for the Noles here. Oh.
We're just watching TV on film. That's all we're doing here.
That's fine.
If Jordan Travis leaves, will Florida State make a run at Tyler Van Dyke? That's from Optimus Climb, whose name is awesome.
Optimus Climb.
Yeah, how great is that, right?
That's good.
I love it.
Stephanie's here.
I saw her walk in.
That's Jeff's parents.
My mom.
Oh.
So, no, not if they got Jordan Travis coming back.
If Travis leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Do you make a run at Tyler Van Dyke?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think he's a lot better than he's played this year than Mickey Mouse offense they have him running.
You also think he's better than Rodemaker. So if Rodemaker's your option,
yes,
hell, you got to be better than him.
Yeah. And Tate ain't going to transfer. You could bring in 7 quarterbacks. He'll be here.
Tate. Hey, people should be appreciative of that. It is really cool to have a program guy like that will be there in a pinch, but might not be wanting to be the starter at like Middle Tennessee or something.
Carol wants to know, will FSU go 3 straight games without giving up a touchdown?
No.
They'll give up a touchdown in this game.
Here's
tomorrow.
why I say that. So the Miami game, if Jamie Robinson doesn't just spin him down like a rag doll and then the bat snapped,
pitch him in a way
they were going to score.
Yeah.
And then Syracuse got down to your half-yard line and just decided not to run another play at the end of that game. The point being, they came close to giving up touchdowns.
Pride?
I don't know what Babers was. No, because he didn't call a timeout.
Right, but do you think Dino's like, I don't need to score this touchdown that you think I need to score?
I'm secure in who I am as a man. Worry about me. I'm good getting one up 3. It was weird though, right? Because most coaches would call a timeout. He's an odd guy. He's an odd guy.
I've interviewed him more than once, guys. This is firsthand experience. This is not me just anecdotally from a distance. I've talked to him face to face on numerous occasions, and he's weird. He's a weird cat.
So they came really close to giving up touchdowns. I don't think their luck down in the goal line when they're already up by 31 points will be as good again. I think Louisiana would take the opportunity to go score if they can.
I think Louisiana will score. I think they'll earn it too. I don't think it's going to be a cheat. I do too. I think they'll earn it. I think they'll score.
I think weirdly, maybe not even weirdly, I think it'll be the closest game of the last probably 4.
Yeah, sure.
The most competitive, because even though Florida State was so bad in the first quarter against Georgia Tech, that game was they scored. The game was over at halftime. They came out and did the dumb thing. They let them onside kick them.
Yeah.
But other than that, they were in control of that game. And clearly, Miami and Syracuse, they've never felt threatened.
No, they were more dominant against Miami and Syracuse than they were Georgia Tech.
So I feel like this one will be more closer to the Georgia Tech game. It's a sleepy nooner again.
As long as they're not sloppy, I can live with. Like, listen, man, if the other team executes and plays well and they're making you earn it, and, maybe you get down there and you have to kick a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown or something, it happens.
And now you kick field goals.
And you
can make something you do.
By the way, that's another great story of this season.
Yeah.
Good for that kid. Because when you're in the depths of despair like that, man, we've all lost confidence in various fields of work or endeavor, whatever. We've all had moments in time where you're like, man, I'm not so sure that wasn't my best effort.
That wasn't your best show.
Yeah. Like
you say that probably 3 times a week.
Well, I've had so many good ones. It's just hard to live up to that standard.
Yeah.
I'm like 23 years of great shows, Corey.
Now all of a sudden you're like, what's
man,
this about?
What are we doing, man? That's a tough one. Yeah, my worst show's better than most of the people you ever listen to on the air, but that's not to my
that's
standard.
Your standard.
It's my standard.
Your standard's different.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah, so we got one more here. Here we go. What kind of contract extension will Norvell get? Have we paid off Taggart Steel? Taggart Steel's paid off.
Is it paid off?
Yeah, it's paid off. This is the last year. It's paid off.
Oh, okay.
Taggart Steel is done.
Man, it just seems like yesterday.
Just what a wait. And then Norvell will get a 3-year extension, right?
For what? What are you giving him? 6 a year? I mean,
well, he's at 3 what?
I think he's close to. I thought it's 3.5. You'll get him to 5.
Get him to 5.
You got him at least get him to 5.
Here's what you do.
You
Missouri, don't get held hostage by that damn agent, though. Jimmy can go to hell.
Who are they
Jimmy
bidding
can go to hell. Well,
I can't believe Missouri paid that Eli Drinkowitz guy $7 million a year. Nobody's trying to hire that guy.
Do that. Do not do that. And Florida State shouldn't do that. And Mike's a good coach.
Yeah.
I would give him the extension. He's earned it. I would also talk to him about what he needs moving forward. So, look, I think Mike is a very reasonable human being. I believe he's here for the long haul if he can get it done.
Yeah.
I think if you tell Mike, hey, Mike, I'm going to give you a 5.2, or maybe I'll give you 6, but how about I give you 5.2 and we sprinkle that $800,000 we're saving on something you need, like
a defensive end?
A raise for Alex Atkins.
Oh, yes,
and an
correct,
extension.
absolutely.
Like maybe we take this money and we, the guys that are cornerstones and absolutely pivotal to the success of this program moving forward.
Yeah.
How do we help them?
I think Alex Atkins, I don't know what he makes. I think it's 700 in the 700 figure. Tom will look it up. Whatever, Alex. I was just kidding. You don't have to do that. But I would make him
$1 million.
I would almost double his salary.
Yeah.
You have to keep him here for a couple of years.
The problem is I don't think you can. I think
he needs at least another year or two. So
I don't think he's going anywhere. By the way, Charlotte hired a coach.
Yeah, but his name. Okay, he makes $850. I'd make him
1.5.
Get him to 1.3, 1.4.
Yeah, well, you wanted to double it. Okay. So
1.7 might be a
it seems a bit excessive. Yes.
So make it 1.3, 1.4. But he is so instrumental to what this program has become. I think those offenses. I think the offense has taken. He means everything to that offense and what they've done.
Yeah.
And he needs a couple of years doing well at a place like Florida State to get the kind of head coaching job he deserves.
Well,
he doesn't want to go take a Charlotte job.
Clearly.
He should go take a Power 5 job. And if he's here for a couple more years, doing what he's doing, he'll have a much better chance.
If they're elite next year and they win the ACC, he gets a head coaching job.
And then we're all dancing. Who cares?
Right.
We're all
we'll care,
happens.
but yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
and there are good coaches everywhere. You got to find them, and Mike has a great eye for coaches.
Yeah.
He does. Now, I also think, Corey, and this is a different topic for a different day, I think there's a couple changes he should make on the staff.
Let's hear it.
It's hard to make changes if they go 10-3.
Well, yes.
But I think that for the long-term growth of the program, there's probably a couple guys that I would jettison. We'll see if he does that or not. I suspect that at least one member of this staff will not be back.
So somebody asked Aslan and on the live show last night, over under 1.5 coaching changes this year.
That's a good number,
right?
It's a good number.
Really good number.
Said the number.
Tom says up.
I'm going to go over.
I said 1.
I'm going to go over.
You're going to go over 2. All right.
I'll go over.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's 2. I don't think it's 3.
You don't think it's 9?
No, I think it's 2. I think it's 2. One, I have a real good sense will not be back. The others, it's close.
Okay.
So I'm going to go.
But you think Atkins will be back?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Unless there's a team that swoops in last-second offer that we don't suspect. That's a Power 5.
You can't lose him to another OC job somewhere else.
No, I mean head coaching job.
Yeah, okay, right, because that's what you lost Pruitt, and I know there was a lot of goofy stuff around Jeremy Pruitt, clearly. But you don't want to lose your guy to a lateral move. You have to compensate Alex Atkins. And that's when you go back to the question about Norvell.
I would pay him.
Make him one of the highest-paid assistants in the conference. Maybe the highest-paid assistant.
Well, remember,
you can't dismiss what he's done to this offensive line because grief how bad it was for so long.
Well, and this is the one area where we had to give credit to Dabo Swinney, as big of a doofus as he is and insincere and all the other things that I think about him. He knew enough to know what he didn't know, which was, hey, I got to pay these guys who do know what they're doing a lot of money to coordinate my offense and defense.
Yeah.
Because I'm just recruiting Jesse. I'll just tell everybody about Jesus and get guys to come here. Yeah.
Guts.
Yeah. So that's what he did.
Yeah.
But he knew enough to know that, which you get credit for. You get credit to
I'll be honest with you. Every time I turn around, the Noles are threatening.
Score,
They're not scoring.
This really might be a lopsided affair before it's over.
But they're getting a lot of good looks, man.
Yeah, they are. They're controlling the action.
Yeah. That's what I'd like to say. The pace of the play, the run of play.
Yeah. They're in control.
The run of play is Florida
absolutely.
State's favor right now.
Without question. Yeah. Well, that guy was.
As soon as I said that, LSU almost scored.
I see it.
Holy! Yeah. I mean, I literally had just turned around.
I don't even know how they got there that fast. It's not that possible. It's not even possible. I was going to say that's
crazy.
That was weird. In slow motion, we both looked. I was like, oh, no.
I'm like, I think they're going to run a play.
You saw that look on his face? Yeah. So in the last 5 minutes, anyhow, I think we've worked through our coaching situations and our NIL.
And our paid. And, in the payments.
Corey, I'm going to tell you, I think, don't know it for sure. We'll see. There's a lot of balls in play here, right? And we don't know.
All right.
But I'm telling you, I think that earlier this year, you may have mentioned about a young man that went away to play at a distant school from the state of Florida, has had an impact in the Big Ten. And he needs to come on home to the state of Florida. He's the kind of kid that could help you play a better brand of defense, and he may be out there.
You talking about the kid at Illinois?
I might be.
So I just found him on PFF. I'm just looking around for hey, when Fabian leaves, what can they do? That guy's last name's Newton. I think his first name is Jazz, something like Jazzy. Man, he's had, as a defensive tackle, he has 20 quarterback hits.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And he's from Florida. There's nobody in the world that would rather live in Champaign, Illinois than Tallahassee,
Not
Florida.
anybody with sense to him.
Right. I mean, hey, I love, I love Champaign. In Illinois, I'm sure a great state to live in.
If you're in Chicago.
But for 5 months, it's unlivable.
Sure.
You have to deal with what the people in Buffalo are dealing with.
And that young man is dealing with it right now.
I know you can't deal with that kind of cold.
I think there's a chance that him and there's maybe another guy on that team.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll see. I think
Illinois is going to become a pipeline to Florida State.
Well, Span, yeah. But by the way, the weirdest part was
that's right. I wonder if Span has a relationship with him. He's telling them hey guys,
it's so much better down here.
Yeah.
Come back to the state.
No, the coach yelled at me on national TV, but he was proving a point. He's being a really nice man. Actually.
Yeah. I'm better for it. Come be better with me. Yeah. So what I would tell you is that Illinois winning each week as they were, they're not now.
Yes.
As they were, began to concern me.
Correct.
Because I thought, well, these sons of bitches are going to compete for the Big Ten
they're going to go
championship.
10-2.
We're not going to be able to. But
They come back to earth. They got Michigan this week.
They come crashing back to earth. This is going to be another loss, and that'll be that.
Who should I, as you guys might or might not know, I do have a Heisman vote. And we're going to go out on this. Who should I vote for the Heisman? Because I have no idea. Right now, I got Stetson Bennett number 1, and I don't know who's 2 and 3. Maybe you can help me out. I don't have a clue.
So who do you have as number 1?
I don't. I really don't. I don't have a number 1.
You don't have Hendon Hooker or somebody like that at number 1?
I mean, if I had to do it today, I guess it would be him. But in their biggest game, probably Stroud, I guess. But that's so boring.
Well,
I really like the running back at Michigan.
You got to take
the running back at Michigan's really good.
Corum's really good.
And he's dynamic.
He's also behind the best offensive line in college football.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You know, it's weird because
Jamie Robinson. Drake May. I might keep it in the ACC and go with Drake May.
I don't think. Oh, that was from the trap.
Yeah, Drake May's not a bad idea because he's an ACC kid.
He's not winning the Heisman.
But he might not win the Heisman. I'm just saying who I'm voting for.
Well, you're just not randomly voting.
It's not random. He's a good player.
He's a
second
really
best
good
quarterback in the ACC, baby. Behind Jay Trav.
Oh, he's really good, actually. Tom and I in that Apalachee State game were like, who the hell is this kid? Woo! Just chucking it around a lot. I was like, that's different. Golly, it's a tough call.
Tough, right?
It is this year. It's really tough this year. There's not a guy, really.
Not yet. He is, and he has a new commercial. He's got a new sponsorship up in Georgia. He does, in Georgia they actually run those commercials on regular TV. Stetson Bennett commercials.
Last year,
like Dominique,
I was in Atlanta. Why was I in Atlanta? I came back from Atlanta and I called you and said we're in trouble because as I was driving through Atlanta, every billboard was of a Georgia player.
Amarius Mims.
Well, in the defensive tackle, the big kid. Yeah.
Jalen Carter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis. Every time I looked up, I was like, well, there's another billboard with a Georgia player. And they were endorsing like car insurance. It was crazy.
They need to do that with Jared Verse.
It was everywhere. And I kept thinking, oh, no, this is already happening. Like this is they're everywhere. Well, in Los Angeles, by the way, you've got players that are repping beats from Dr. Dre getting paid $1 million to do it. Like Florida State's never going to be able to compete with that.
They do make male Spanx. They do, guys. It's on the menu. It's on the website.
Was the originator of the male Spanx the same
woman?
As the same Florida State graduate.
Her umbrella.
Same Florida State graduate.
She can imagine.
I don't want to imagine this. I don't want to imagine that at all.
See him climb into them.
No.
And that's going to make money. Is he wearing
like something over the Spanx?
No. You see the whole thing.
No.
We're trying to make money.
Is this a fans-only site? What?
Yeah. Why can't the collective just do that?
I don't want this. All right. This is going to be the last one. We keep saying last one. It's called the Combine. You're right. Oh, that's unsettling.
Is it really?
Well, the Combine. The NFL Combine.
You're right.
That's always
when they're doing the 40s.
You're always like, no, why with the straight on? What are we doing?
The 40s in slow mo. I don't need it. Don't need it. Don't want it.
None of us do. Yep. It's like, all right, time to take it outside, guys. Anybody want to throw the ball around?
It's funny when the NFL Network first started broadcasting the Combine. Every guy I talked to was like, "Oh my God, that's going to be awesome!" Like I've wanted that my whole life. They're going to broadcast everything. And then the first, 6 or 7 times I saw a dude run the 40 in slow mo.
I'm done here.
I don't know, man. It was pretty cool not ever seeing this.
Don't need to see that.
Maybe
bench pressing. Maybe the bench press is all right. I don't need
Can they jump rope?
We don't need to see this. Can they jump rope? Oh. And on that note, for Tom Lang, Corey Clark, I'm Jeff
Need a dub tomorrow.
1-1. Your updated score, 1-1. 5 minutes to play in the half. And by the way, tomorrow morning, bright and early, you and I will be at Hotel Indigo. We're live at 10 a.m. with the pregame show. Then the watch-along happens. Dominic Robinson will join Tom Lang as well as Aslan. And then the after-game post-game call. I don't know, after-game, what the hell am I talking about? Post-game call-in show.
You got the before game and the after game.
Yeah, but post-game call-in show. And, and then
hopefully a 4-game winning streak, another blowout win. And you get
an 8th victory on the season.
And everybody's all eyes pointed towards Florida that Friday. Hey, we will not have one of these next week because obviously the day before the game will be Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody in advance.
But we will have, if they beat Florida, we will have a special happy hour that Saturday for y'all's keg stand we'll do a 30-minute. You and I'll do. It can be an 8-minute wrap-up show here, and then you guys are doing a keg stand. Ira's doing his funnel, and I'm doing a rain dance or something. Not rain dance. What is the Irish thing?
It's a jig.
Yeah, I'll do an Irish jig while y'all are doing the.
I thought you were going to say you were going to smoke a joint while we were doing that.
Well, I'll do that anyway. That's a Saturday afternoon, man. I got to calm down.
Imagine what kind of operation is Warchant got going on around here. My Christ, look at these guys. Corey is token. Jeff's doing a cake stand. Ira's funneling. These guys are over the moon about this season.
It's a big win.
Unbelievable.
9 wins, baby.
Our thanks to everybody here at the Quarter Pocket. Our thanks to all of you guys. Be well. Go Noles. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
Read.